Hello subscribers, this is yours truly JBlue68. Today is Wednesday, August 21st, comic book night. And unbelievably, we're nearing the end of August and the end of the summer. Disappointed about that. I am not ready to get into any cold months. But, hey, I can't control the weather. So this haul is actually going to be a combo haul of comic books that I picked up from last week and some comic books I picked up today. All Marvel comics, by the way. So I hope that you will enjoy this haul. I hope that you like these videos. If you do, please hit the like button, share and subscribe. Also tap that bell so you can get videos like this as I drop them, as I upload them, and they drop into your feed immediately. So I do again say I apologize last night as I went on my little rant about the news that broke the internet concerning SpiderMan, and we'll get more into that later on in this video, as we do have some Spider-Man comics featured in this particular haul. First up though, we have the beautiful, lovely cover featuring two of my favorite heroes. Actually, several of my favorite heroes are on this cover. We have Riri Williams, Ironheart. There she is there, looking unsure and nervous about herself. And intimidated, I guess she would be, as she's surrounded by the warrior queens known as the Dora Milaje. And next to her is Shuri, sister of the Black Panther. Very nice cover there. Unfortunately, I'm not up to date on this story. It's written by Al Ewing, the same gentleman who is writing the Immortal Hulk. But this is Ironheart. Ironheart goes to Wakanda. Once I get into reading this story, and I'm hearing that the story is very good, I definitely will do a review of the entire story. And a story that has received a lot of criticism, a lot of hype, a lot of excitement, a lot of everything. The new X-Men stories written by Jonathan Hickman, Powers of X. This is Powers of X book number 3. Can't wait to read this, and I'm loving that cover already. Two brand new characters of the new X-Men stories. So I can't wait to see what this is all about. And the sister or brother book of this series, Powers of X book number 2. Yeah, so I was a little bit behind on my reading again, because this haul is late. So I know these books have probably already been shown in other YouTube videos, but this is JBlue68's video, so I'm going to do this haul anyway. And I already did a haul on Monday anyway of books that I found at the Michigan Comic Con. Love this cover though. Can't wait to read this story and see what happens next. It looks like Toad. Of course, there is the White Queen there, Emma Frost, Mystique, Sabretooth, and Mr. Magneto on this cover. Powers of X book number 2 and Powers of X book number 3. And I have it. I finally got Immortal Hulk. I just mentioned Mr. Al Ewing, the writer of Riri Williams. I've heard so much about this story, and I was wondering how I would be able to finally catch up and get these books, where Marvel is re-releasing the Immortal Hulk stories director's cut. And I'm finally going to get a chance to see what all the hype is about this story. Can't wait to read it. Can't wait to read it. After that, we have History of the Marvel Universe book 2. And I read book 1, and man, I'm telling you, book 1 is truly fascinating. Book 1, I think, is probably going to be more important than this story, because book 1 of the History of the Marvel Universe deals with the cosmic stories and the cosmic heroes, the cosmic happenings in the Marvel Universe as it pertains to Galactus and the Watchers and whatnot. And I'm probably going to do a video exclusively on that particular book, because as we know, you may or may not know that the MCU is moving more into expanding into the cosmic universe. They actually already started with Guardians of the Galaxy. They kind of did it, extended it a little more with Doctor Strange movie, introducing Dormammu and the master of the mystic arts and the ancient one. But more so with Guardians of the Galaxy Volumes 1 and 2. They're going into the cosmic universe of Marvel. So I think MCU will no longer be Marvel Cinematic Universe. I think it will be Marvel Cosmic Universe. But anyway, here's a follow-up to that story, Book 2 of History of the Marvel Universe. Can't wait to read this, written by Mark Waid, with artwork by Javier Rodriguez and Alvaro Lopez. Next up, we have Book 2, Jane Foster Valkyrie, and this spins directly out of the pages of War of the Realms. Book number 2, written by Jason Aaron. Cannot wait to read this, and we see the very sinister Bullseye sneaking up behind Jane Foster Valkyrie, but she's armed and ready for battle. You see she got these weapons, these fiery glowing weapons in her hands. So I don't think that she's necessarily going to be completely off guard by this guy. You know, Bullseye is wicked. So, yeah. Haven't started reading this story yet either, but I will. As always, I'm behind in my comic book reading. Next up, we have Silver Surfer Black, written by Donny Cates. And this story has been getting actually mixed reviews. And I think mainly because of the artwork, but the story is awesome to my understanding, as I don't expect anything less from Donny Cates, who's also, of course, working on Absolute Carnage with Ryan Stegman as the artist on that book. And it looks like he's working with someone named Tradd Moore and Dave Stewart on Silver Surfer Black. Very trippy looking artwork. Very, very nostalgic, I should say. Okay. And what I mean by that, it looks like artwork from the 70s Marvel comic books. Next up, we have, and I said, Donny Cates is all over the place. This is Guardians of the Galaxy number 8. He's also writing Guardians of the Galaxy. Very talented guy, man. He has his hands all in and over Marvel properties at this time. As we're drawing closer to the death, I guess, of Rocket Raccoon, and another series that I have not begun reading. So I don't know really what's going on in this book as of yet, but I'm sure I will soon once I get a chance to read it. And another Silver Surfer book, Prodigal Son. This is a one-shot written by Peter David with the ominous Galactus on the cover. And Galactus is featured heavily in the History of the Marvel Universe book number 1, which I just mentioned a moment ago. This is a really nice drawing of him. I can't wait to read this book. One shot. Silver Surfer, the Prodigal Son. After that, we have book number 2 of Loki, and we have, looks like Tony Stark in his Iron Man suit in the background, watching Loki create or do some mischievous things. He's putting horns on the helmet of the Iron Man, of the Iron Man suit. Very interesting. This is written by someone by the last name of Kibblesmith. I like that cover though. Very interesting. Looks like a lot of satire probably in this series. I don't know. I'm not sure how much longer I'll actually continue collecting it if it doesn't impress me. We'll see. Next up we have Fantastic Four by Dan Slott. Book number 13. Features the Immortal Hulk, who we just seen a moment ago. Will kill him unless. And you know that the Thing and Hulk have been going at it in battle again, which is something that's very common in the Marvel Fantastic Four stories. They've always been enemies of each other or with each other. So we'll see how that pans out once we get into reading this series as well, written by Dan Slott. I think I mentioned that. Next up, we have Swordmaster, book number 2, another story that has spun out of the War of the Realms series, and it features a story with Shang Chi, Master of Kung Fu, who's been getting a lot of popularity lately, especially since the announcement of him being featured in the MCU. But I've always been a Shang-Chi fan way before um, he appeared in the MCU, will appear in the MCU. Um, so yeah, Swordmaster, book number 2. And this looks like has a manga style type artwork. It's written by Greg Pak and somebody name of Shizu. All right, nice there. I like that. Like that a lot. And here we go, Spider-Man. So yeah, I ranted last night. I had actually planned on doing a completely different video, but once I read that news, which came from immediately, the first news bit that I read was from Dark Horizons, and then Collider as well. And I immediately posted a video, talking about Spider-Man and how it's been nixed by Sony. Sony is taking the Spider-Man property back, and Spider-Man will no longer appear in the MCU. I'm not going to get into a long rant about that because you can check out the other video to see that. But I just feel, just briefly saying, Sony and Disney have all the money in the world. And you mean to tell me they can't come to a negotiation of some sort to satisfy fans? And I've seen several videos and takes of the situation, from everything from philosophies to facts, or facts to philosophy. And I presented facts in my video last night. So I just don't understand it. It makes absolutely no sense at all. At all. There's no way that anyone can make sense of this. I don't care how many different ways it's been explained. So, all right. So anyway, this is Spider-Man: City at War, book number 6, based off of the video game that came out earlier this year. Book number 6, Spider-Man: City at War. And next up, we have Symbiote, number 5, Spider-Man, which features Spider-Man in his black costume and Mysterio on the cover. And I'm also hearing that this story is very good as well, written by Peter David, and it features the talents of Greg Land, Jay Leistein, and Frank D'Armata. I think this is the last book of the series, not for sure. Last but least, we have Miles Morales, Spider-Man, who I said yesterday, if they can't get it together regarding the Spider-Man Peter Parker story and character in the MCU, that they should go ahead and finally introduce this guy. We've already seen him in the animated movie. It's time for a live action version of Miles Morales. Way past time, actually. So if they can't come to a deal, hopefully we will see this character come to fruition, live action, and in an MCU movie. Okay, so that's it. That's all, y'all. These are all Marvel comics. Let's go back to where we started with the Riri Williams Ironheart comic book. I hope that you've enjoyed this haul, and I will be having other videos coming out very soon, featurettes, unboxings, movie reviews, and whatnot, as I always do what I do. All right, so again, please like this video. Please put any comments below. Share and subscribe. Tap that bell so you can get more videos like this immediately so they can drop into your feed. Happy Comic Book Wednesday, everyone. Peace, love, and hair grease.